Alright, what is up everyone? Sean here, and welcome to another episode of the Hawke Talks. It's been a hot minute since I made the last one, but I really wanted to make this video about this subject, which is evolving with Dragon Ball FighterZ, one of the most beloved modern fighting games for right now, and Toei, which is the big company that's been animating a lot of anime and from manga series and stuff like that, including the legendary Dragon Ball series or franchise in general, and also One Piece and so on and so forth. But yeah, those two are definitely the biggest ones. But yeah, we're talking about Dragon Ball today. For those who don't really have an idea what's going on, which a lot of people have been asking that on Twitter, Toei has been the leading cause of Dragon Ball FighterZ not making it to a lot of the major tournaments over the past while, kind of starting sometime this year. I know DreamHack Atlanta was one of them. Now Evo and even Anime Ascension came out and said that pretty much Dragon Ball FighterZ isn't making it to their lineup, and there's collective evidence that Toei has been pretty much holding them back from making that happen, essentially because Toei doesn't really see what other people see when it comes to esports, and seemingly they don't like the idea of these organizations making a profit off of their IP. I mean, it is when they're within their rights, sure, because they're the ones who put out those animations in the first place, or the animes from the get-go. So they do have those rights reserved, and essentially what they do nowadays is put out a huge licensing fee in order for these tournaments to even be able to put games like this in their tournaments. So it's been really making it difficult for a lot of TOs that don't quite have the finance power to bring games like Dragon Ball FighterZ into their lineup. So what causes in the end is just for them to really cancel it, and it's been a bad look it's been a bad time for for a lot of people, because the viewers don't get to see Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is a pretty good spectacle for a number of people, right? But also the players have been having to cancel their flights, which costs them more money, and it's just a big waste of time, and it's just a really bad look on Toei, really. And ArcSys has to probably take some blame as well, along with Namco, in this outrage. But I think really the prime suspect here is Toei. Now there isn't really like a direct article or direct statement from Toei as of right now, but like I said, from collectively we've seen and heard that Toei is the prime part and reason for all this happening in the first place. So a lot of the prominent figures in the FGC have been speaking their thoughts, and Joey slash Mr. Wiz, who organizes the biggest tournament in fighting games, which is Evo, which did host Dragon Ball FighterZ for 2018. But for the upcoming Evo, it's really looking grim for right now, at least for definitely for Evo Japan, it's not happening. So it's a really bad sign for Evo when it comes to Dragon Ball FighterZ. So really unfortunate, because it features one of the biggest anime slash manga franchises of all time, and for them to just Toei for them to just pull that away from the FGC, it's definitely creating a lot of outrage, especially from the players who who dedicated their time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears, essentially, just to see their fighting game that they're participating get canceled at tournaments. So again, they have to cancel their flights. It costs them fees. It costs them more money. It's bad on all sides, really, including Toei, of course. So my personal opinion on this is, of course, that I really don't like seeing this. It's really a bad look for them. It's essentially like kind of like what Nintendo was doing similarly to YouTubers, which is like, taking away their pretty much their right to monetize, and then they claim all the ad revenue and stuff like that back in starting from 2013. But now they're really cool about it, which is great. But now Toei is doing sort of something similar in some sense, like Nintendo did with YouTubers. But now this time Toei is doing something, really really hard. It's making it Toei's making it really difficult for the tournament organizers to have Dragon Ball Fighters in their lineup, by making a hefty licensing fee, and they just gotta take it or leave it. You know what I mean? So again, a lot of these tournaments are forced to drop Dragon Ball Fighters, even though it'll bring in the numbers and for the viewership and the players and stuff and such. They even there's I think they still are holding their world tour as we speak. So it's making things really difficult on all sides. So it's a terrible time for all the fighting game organizers or tournament organizers. And yeah, so and it's also making making ArcSys and Namco look bad in some sense, because Dragon Ball Fighters is not being allowed, so they kind of blame it on the wrong people, including the two companies. So I mean, really, Toei is to blame because they're the ones who hold the rights here in this case. So right now they're kind of being dinosaurs, kind of like how Nintendo was in the past. And what they see is they don't see the reason for them to allow these organizations to make a profit of some sort off of their IP. So yeah, I know I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I'm just trying to make this make things clear. Toei is not really seeing the benefits of what esports could bring for franchises like Dragon Ball Fighters. So I think it's definitely a great venture, in business, on the business side of things. So I don't see why Toei has the right reasons to hold back this wonderful game for a lot of these people from being played in tournaments. So it's just really unfortunate for the players and the viewers, just fans in general who love Dragon Ball, all around. So again, it's just making Toei look bad, and it really raises concerns for future anime fighting games or anime-based fighting games, including a possible One Piece fighting game from ArcSys. I talked about that in the top 10 animes / mangas that should get fighting games made by ArcSys. After Dragon Ball Fighters was announced and it was really building up hype. A lot of people got excited at the possibilities of what animes can show up. So now remember, this is Toei. I don't think any other anime companies will see some issues like this, but for right now it's just Toei. Well, I mean, we really don't know what other company, or if the other animation companies who all hold certain rights and stuff for certain anime franchises will have the same outlook for the esports and the FGC and stuff in tournaments and such. So it really destroys hope to see a fighting game like One Piece or whatever to come to light and get that same treatment that Dragon Ball FighterZ should have gotten or deserved, because One Piece is the next biggest thing from Toei, if not the biggest, definitely right now, because the manga is selling millions of copies and stuff like that, and not to mention the anime is still going and all. So, and of course they're still making movies for it, so that just shows you how big One Piece still is. and they're definitely not gonna let anyone mess around with their IP, whether it's for a tournament or not. If they're already treating Dragon Ball like this. So again, because One Piece is the next big thing after Dragon Ball, it's looking grim for games like this, for at least from the Toei anime anyway. So but it's just really, really sad to see stuff like this. And I don't one possible solution for this is for Toei to just take the Nintendo route of how they treat esports, or how they treated certain tournaments like Evo. Whenever they wanted Smash 4 to be in the tournament, Nintendo wanted them to promote certain games. So at one point, I think I remember my first Evo, they promoted Splatoon. They wanted Evo to promote Splatoon. They had these demos out. People were playing them, and they kept their end of the bargain and stuff. And for both parties kept their ends of the bargain, and they did the deal. So Evo had Smash, and then Nintendo was able to have Evo promote Splatoon, which was it was the upcoming game at the time, which made sense. And of course, some of the following years they promoted other games, I believe, but the most recent Evo, I believe they were promoting the hell out of Smash Ultimate, which made all the sense. So I don't see why not. So I don't see why Toei could not do something like this. It would be a great opportunity for them to promote their IPs or promote their other anime series that they've animated before, or any upcoming movies or anything like that, especially with Dragon Ball. But why can't you just force some tournaments to, or not force, but have them promote the newest Dragon Ball movie with Broly or something? That could have been that could have made sense, right? That would have made more hype, for at least for the Americans anyway. I don't know how it performed in Japan, but people in America are gonna go see it. There's a lot of fans here, plenty of them here, at least in America, and then not to mention Europe and all that fun stuff. So point being, there is a solution around it, just by Toei just having tournament organizations to promote certain products, and then there you go. That's kind of a win-win situation. The tournament can have Dragon Ball FighterZ, and then Toei can have their stuff being promoted by said tournament. So just take the Nintendo route, essentially. Don't do what Nintendo did in the past. Do what Nintendo does now. So I think it's just another Japanese company being dinosaurs, and we just gotta give them time, I guess. Hopefully they kind of see the light when it comes to things like this, and they ease up the licensing fee. Not to mention just strike up some sort of deal with these tournaments to help promote products. It's that's like the prime solution. And I mean, I'm just a guy who watches fighting games, so I only know so much, but that's just something I would think of, just looking at Nintendo and stuff like that. So it's looking a little rough. It's looking pretty rough for all the Dragon Ball fans and everyone who's a fan of any Toei anime, essentially, because those fighting games will probably not see the esports treatment if Toei keeps this up. So it's the One Piece fighting game is looking grim when it comes to esports. I mean, they can still come out, sure, and the casuals can enjoy them, but these tournaments can help bring in popularity. It can help make the game still relevant. It can help make the game look cool by having pro players doing cool stuff with the characters in whatever fighting games. Oh, there's a reason why tournaments are kind of important for fighting games. It's just you see stuff that you really can't do in a tournament setting, and plus that tournament setting will make things really cool, and then you have the storylines with the players and stuff like that. It really kind of adds up to the fighting game itself, and it's just, I don't know, it just helps keep the the fighting game going. In my opinion, it only helps. Of course, it costs money, blah blah blah. Sure, but there's passion behind it, and I'm sure people are willing to or organize these tournaments. Whether they have the money or they barely have the money. It's just one huge passion project and stuff like that. They just want to spread the love and stuff like that. But companies like Toei are just making it really hard, and it just sucks. And it makes them look bad. And maybe in the future they're gonna probably see a loss in support because of what they're doing with their fighting games and stuff like that. There's a lot of crossover with people who just watch anime and then fighting game players or fighting game fans, and also the players, of course. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who play fighting games watch anime and stuff like that, and so they'll lose a number of people with their support, just because they're doing stuff like this, and then One Piece, could take a hit for it too, because of Toei's actions. So who knows? Who knows what kind of effect it can have in the future if Toei doesn't, really see what's going on. So there's gonna be quite a battle between the TOs and Toei. So we'll see how these things play out. But I really hope for the best for the TOs or the FGC, and because it can affect how or what kind of fighting games we can get when it comes to the anime side of things. So I mean, of course, there's always other animes from other companies to come in to have their fighting games made. But when it comes to Toei, it features my personal series of all time, which is One Piece. But it's obvious that it's part of Toei, and that's because it's the big moneymaker too. They're gonna hold on tight to it. So that's why it's gonna be really hard, I think, for a One Piece game to be made with this stuff around it. So, but yeah, anyways, before I gonna go into a loop, that's pretty much all I have to say about Toei. Making things hard for tournaments to have Dragon Ball FighterZ because of licensing fees and just how they see things from their perspective and stuff. It sucks. It definitely sucks, and I hope for the best for for the FGC, the tournament organizers, and the viewers as well. Of course. So, anyways, if anyone has any comments or concerns or any thoughts about this subject, please leave me down below. I would love to check them out, and again, hopefully things work out for the best. So, this has been the Hawke Talks about Toei versus Dragon Ball Fighter tournaments. I don't know, but anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.